I am super excited for today's YouTube video because this will be a step-by-step tutorial where we will be doing Amazon FBA product research together. If you guys have watched any of my previous Amazon product research YouTube videos, you know that I get a ton of views and comments on these types of videos. You guys know how important it is to find the right product to sell on Amazon in order to make any sort of money. And second, you need to know how to launch your product. Now, we won't talk about launching your product today. We will only focus on Amazon product research for 2021. If you do want to watch a previous YouTube video I did for product research, it is right here. So today we will be using Helium 10 Black Box using keywords, competitors, niche, and product targeting to look for products together. I suggest you guys to click on the learn button right here to learn some additional ways to look for products. I just want to explain to you what these tabs do because in my previous videos, I talked a lot about using the products tab, but let's talk about these new options that we have here. So for keywords under Black Box, just go to Black Box under product research right here, Amazon product research. Using keywords will find you products based on the search volume. So search volume is how many times a keyword is searched per month on Amazon. Something to remember is you don't want to look for products that have a low amount of searches because that means there are no customers looking for your product and therefore you will not make any sales. But you don't want to enter a number that is too high as well, or else that will become a very saturated product. So let's start at 5,000 search volume all the way to 10,000 search volume. You guys can adjust this if you like. Monthly revenue, estimated average revenue from the previous 30 days for the top products. So how much monthly revenue do we want to look for in a product? Remember, if you are looking for a low amount of monthly revenue, that means you don't get a big piece of the pie. But then you don't want to look for a super high amount of revenue for the max right here. You don't want to put 2 million or like 3 or 5 million because then you will end up with a very saturated product like cell phone cases, vitamin C serums, jade rollers, and all of these products that are just super saturated products that will cause you to lose money. So monthly revenue, let's start at 10,000. Again, this is just an example. You guys can adjust it. And let's do 20,000. I think it's nice to have $10,000 in monthly revenue. What do you guys think? This does not equal profits, just so you know. This is just a starting point. So for price, what is the price of the product? What price do you want to look for in the products that you are trying to sell? So I don't suggest anything that is priced too low because with Amazon FBA fees, Amazon does take a small percentage of your sales. So you don't want to have too low of a price. Let's put $13 and the max, let's put 27. You don't want to go too high in price because if you put like 50 bucks here, I guarantee you that your cost per unit is going to be really high as well. So don't put a price that is too high. Review count, let's do at least 10 reviews to 200 reviews. You do not want to put reviews that are way too high because you probably already know that if you find products that have a super high review count, those are saturated products and products that are way too common to sell. And right here, you don't want to leave it at 0 reviews because you need some reviews to see what is going on in that market and how you can differentiate your product by reading your competitors' product reviews. Review rating, we will put 3 and 5. For word count, I don't fill in anything here because I don't think it's necessary. This is just the number of words in that phrase. We don't know how many numbers of words are in a phrase for a product. It's impossible to tell, so we just leave this blank. In the advanced filters, you can add in some information as well. I usually leave a lot of this blank because the more that you fill in, it's going to decrease your chances of finding a product. So variation count, I always add variation count. Right here, I will put 1, 2, 3. You don't want to sell a product that has way too many variations because it's going to cost you a lot more to start up. and it's harder for you to compete. So if someone is selling a tablecloth and they have 20 different color tablecloths and you want to start out with just selling one color variation in a tablecloth, you are just not going to win. So I suggest no more than 3 variations. You can exclude some keywords, you can add some keywords. Number of sellers, I leave this blank. Best sales period, I don't really care about this as well. Most of the things here you will just leave blank. So right here, for shipping size tier, I like to use small and large if you are a beginner seller. If you are an experienced seller, you can try small oversize and medium oversize, but I don't suggest large oversize or special oversize because your FBA fees will be through the roof and your cost to source one unit is going to be so high. This is like if you are selling mattresses, tables, chairs. I don't think many of you guys will want to do that. So just keep it here and just have a second look at this to see if you are satisfied with what you put in. Click on search and let's see what products appear here. So right here we have the phrases found. We have Christmas cards, Snoopy, Christmas ornament. By the way, I am doing this tutorial around the Christmas season. That's why you are seeing so many Christmas keywords. But if you are doing Amazon product research on just a normal month, then you will see a ton of different types of keywords that will appear here. So this is one way to use Black Box to find products. Let's look at competitors. So for the competitors tab, you can enter a competitor's ASIN right here, fill in what you have to fill in, and then click search. Let's use an example. Let's look at pet carrier for dogs. And let's just use, oh, that's not a pet carrier. That is a pet camera. Oh, it's the Furbo. I have a few friends that have the Furbo. Let's go down and just pick a pet carrier. Let's use this one. And we are just going to steal this ASIN to use as an example. Go back here, paste this into ASIN. And again, right here, you want to put in the monthly revenue, price, review count, review rating, and shipping size tier. If you want to use advanced filters, you can as well. But again, remember, the more you fill in, the less products are going to appear. I suggest going through each of these category one at a time. So if you want to look at appliances, you can click off appliances. But what this is doing is it's going to pull up all of the competitors that are similar to this ASIN. So I don't think appliances is similar to a pet carrier for dogs. So let's just leave this unchecked. And I'm not going to fill this all in right now because I already showed you how to do it under keywords, but let's hit search right here. So if I scroll down, I can see all of the products that are similar to the ASIN that I put in. This is really good to use if you are looking for a specific type of product. If you already have in mind that you want to sell a pet carrier for dogs, then I would use the competitor's ASIN option right here. But if you are someone that is unsure about what you want to sell, then I suggest using keywords or products. These two options are really good if you just have no idea what you want to sell. However, with competitors, if you know what to sell, it's really good to look at how your competitors are doing, how many reviews they have, what is their price, and you can go here and go to their product listing as well by clicking on go to product page on Amazon. There's so many different types of products that are similar to this competitor that you can start doing research on. Let's look at niche. Now, I haven't used niche, but I want to show it to you anyway. So if you know a phrase that you want to research, you can type it in right here, put in that criteria and hit search. However, I don't suggest using niche that often because I haven't had much luck with it. So for example, if I type in pet carrier for dog and I leave everything blank to maximize my options, nothing will pop up. No data for phrase pet carrier for dog. However, if I shorten this phrase and I just put in dog, so many different types of products pop up. These are all products with the word dog in them. There's dog food, there's supplements for dogs, and this is dog wood. This is a dog bed. So you see how that works? If you put in a very broad keyword under niche, you may be able to find some products. However, when you are trying to really niche down and put in pet carrier for dogs, you will end up with nothing. So I don't suggest this too much unless you want to put in a very broad keyword and then find all of the broad types of products related to that broad keyword. In this example, dog. Lastly, I have product targeting. So for ASINs, I am going to put in my pet carrier for dog, this ASIN right here as an example. And I'm not going to put anything in here. You guys already know how to do that. Hit search, and this will pull up all of the frequently bought together products that are related to this specific ASIN. So if I go back to this listing, this is the ASIN that I am product targeting. And this is pulling up all of the products that are right down here, or where is it? Products related to this item. All of these types of products and products that are bought together. So sometimes a customer may buy this pet carrier and they may buy something else. So it's pulling up those products as well. If you already have a product in mind, then I suggest putting in the ASIN here for your competitor, and then look what else people are buying with that specific product. This will give you a ton of other product ideas as well. This is good to use when you already have a product on Amazon and now you are thinking, okay, I'm ready to sell my second product, my third product, or my fourth product. This is when product targeting is really useful because this is already proving that customers are buying these products on top of this specific ASIN right here. If you guys have already chosen a product, you should also be double checking everything using the Helium 10 Chrome extension. So if I type in pet carrier for dogs right here, there are so many different types of pet carriers for dogs. And the information on the first page is impossible to figure out without the Chrome extension. So right here is the extension. Now I'm not going to run through everything with you guys because you can click on learn how to use the extension to figure it out. But I want to point out Amazon product research. This is by far one of the most important steps because this is when you get to see everything happening behind closed doors for all of these sellers right here. Now it does take a little bit of time to load, so I'm just going to wait for that. But right here you can see the ASIN of each product, the brand, the category, buy box, price, FBA fee, the sales graph, you can click into it as well. The monthly revenue, which is really important. You guys already know that you should not be selling products if there's no proven revenue on Amazon. It's going to be impossible for you to make any sort of money. There's ratings, review velocity. And again, I talked about the Chrome extension in a previous YouTube video, so you can check that out right here after this video is done. I also want to spend some time talking about magnet keyword research. So we just went through product research black box, but now we have to focus on magnet. So whenever you are trying to do your research on Amazon, this is a pet carrier for a dog, but it all started from typing in this keyword. So if I type in here pet carrier for dogs, this will pull up all of the related keywords for pet carrier for dogs. Why is this important? Because this mainly will show you how popular that keyword is. Your keywords have to have some demand, like what I told you earlier, because if they don't have demand, that means you will not have enough traffic. You will not have enough customers typing in a specific keyword, meaning nobody will buy your product. Not many customers will buy your product if that keyword is not being searched enough. So you will find a lot of unrelated keywords as well, like dog bowl or dog kennel. They are just pulling up very broad keywords. So you want to focus on the more specific keywords. So this is what we are looking for, pet carrier. It's still kind of broad, but it's better than travel bag or cat carrier, dog crate. That doesn't really count as well. You want to find the more specific types of keywords and look at how many people are searching it. You want to find a good amount of search volume for these keywords so you know that people are actually searching for your product. So if I want to narrow this down, I can go onto here, show phrases that contain pet carrier for dog. Apply, and now it will cut everything down and only show you keywords pet carrier for dog. Now I think this is too specific because as you can see, the search volume here is very low. So let's just do pet carrier, apply, and this will pull up more keywords. There you go, 1,219 keywords, and these are all keywords related to a pet carrier. So this is a really good amount of searches per month. 5,000 people searching, 6,000 people searching, 1,000 people searching for these types of keywords. This is what you need to analyze when you are looking for products. Is there a good enough of demand? Is there no demand? Is there too much demand? If your search volume is in the 6-figure range, that is a very oversaturated product. Another cool thing to consider is using Cerebro. So a lot of the times when we see our competitors making a ton of sales, we always wonder, what keyword are the sales coming from? If this pet carrier seller right here is making a ton of sales, are they making sales through this keyword, pet carrier for dogs? Or can they be making sales from just pet carrier or dog pet carrier? There's so many different types of phrases. So what you want to do is type in the ASIN in Cerebro, and this will look up all of your competitors' keywords, and this will give you a very good idea on what types of keywords are working for them. Because if the keyword is working for them and they are making a ton of sales through that keyword, then you should be including those keywords in your product listing. So if we go down here, now we don't know 100% for sure, right? We are just assuming here because this is pulling up all of their keywords, but there's no definite 100% way to figure out where their sales are coming from other than themselves and having them look at their PPC reports. But this is generally a good rule of thumb to follow because at least you know where they are ranked. So for their organic rank, they are #1 for carrier airline approved. So you might think, okay, this is a really good keyword. I should probably include it in my listing. There's over 400 searches per month, not bad. And this one, dog carrier airline approved. 2,700 searches per month, and they are ranked #1. So this will give you a really good idea on which keywords to include into your product listing if you do go with this product. And it will also give you a good idea if there are any different types of products that you can source as well. So if you are sourcing just a plain pet carrier, and this is your second product, maybe your second product, you want to source a pet carrier that is for a large dog or just specifically for the airline that is approved. There are so many different ways how you can do product research using Cerebro as well, aside from including these really good keywords in your product listing. So make sure you consider Magnet and Cerebro when you are doing your product research. You have to know how many people are searching for your product. What types of keywords are ranking for your competitors? What types of keywords should you include in your product listing if you decide to source a pet carrier? Or if you are doing product research, can I find any more products here that are related to my main product, the pet carrier? There are so many ways to find winning products simply by analyzing a product's keywords. If you guys are enjoying this video, then please help me give this video a huge thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. If you have any questions so far about Amazon product research, just drop me a comment in the comment section below. Here are some important questions to ask yourself before I let you go. When you are doing product research, it's very important that you ask yourselves these questions before you proceed to paying your supplier a few $1,000s. Question #1 is, how can I make my product different? How can you improve your product? How can you differentiate? What makes a customer buy your product instead of someone else's? You cannot just slap on a logo on a product that is already selling on Amazon and just cross your fingers and hope for sales. That's not how it works. You guys already know that Amazon is getting more competitive, but it keeps on growing bigger and bigger. There is so much room for you to make money, but your product has to be different. Now, I can talk about Amazon product differentiation forever and ever. I will not do that in this video, but a really good tip I can give you on differentiating your product on Amazon is by reading what customers are complaining about from your competitors, taking that data and fixing those problems in your own product. Next question to ask yourself is there enough money on the market for you to make any money? So for example, if you are trying to sell something that is really unique, let's pretend it's a polka dot umbrella for dogs. Obviously, not a lot of people are selling a polka dot umbrella for dogs. And if you source a product that is unique like that, where there is very low demand, then you are just simply not going to make any money. You have to be checking the revenue using Helium 10 Chrome extension and using the profitability calculator to determine how much money can you possibly make by selling a similar product. You don't want a product that is so unique like a polka dot umbrella for dogs, but you also don't want a product that is extremely common and saturated like vitamin C serum, a jade roller, fake eyelashes, makeup bags, cell phone cases. Those are all very saturated products that you should stay away from. So do your research and find out how much money your competitors are making for the product that you want to source, and ask yourself, is there enough money for you to take a piece of the pie? Third question to ask yourself is, how can I get this product for the lowest price in the fastest amount of time? You see, after selling on Amazon for so many years now and coaching over 1,000 students, one of the biggest mistakes that I see happening over and over again is that sellers keep trying to go for the lowest price, even though the amount of time that it takes to produce their product takes weeks and months. The lowest price is nice, but it's not always the greatest. So for example, if you can source a product for $3 and it takes 2 weeks to produce, compared to a product that costs $2.80 and it takes 6 weeks to produce, I would probably rather pay $3. Because when you are selling quickly on Amazon, let's say your product takes off and now you are running out of stock. This always happens to a lot of people that I coach. Their products take off, they are now out of stock, but their supplier cannot meet the deadline to restock their inventory, and they have to do a complete launch all over again when their inventory goes back into stock. That is a good problem to have, but a very frustrating problem to have. I don't want that for you. So you kind of have to talk to a few suppliers and find out the lowest price within reason in the fastest amount of time. Always choose time over price, because once you start getting good at selling on Amazon, your product will run out of stock, and it's better to pay a little bit more to have your goods produced at a fast amount of time than waiting forever and ever, and then it takes time to ship, and then you will just run out of stock and not make any money at all. The fourth question to ask yourself is, do I have enough capital to source this type of product? You see, a product that is good for me may not be good for you. For people that have a bigger budget and they have more capital to invest into their business, they probably can afford more expensive types of products, heavier products, products that may have higher Amazon FBA fees. But if you are a beginner, or if you are someone that is on a budget, if you are someone that has a ton of bills in their lives, you may have a small amount of capital to start, and that's completely fine. You can find products that are as little as $1 to source. A lot of people I know have done that and have made money on Amazon by sourcing cheaper type of products. So the question you need to ask yourself is, how can you source a product, and what amount of money can you put into your business without breaking your bank? If you are someone that has $0 right now, I don't suggest you starting this business at all. You have to figure out how much you want to invest into products and what is comfortable for you. Sometimes when you find good products to sell, you just simply can't afford it. So just move on to a product that you can afford within your own budget. And the very last question you should be asking yourself is, how many hours per day can I commit to this Amazon FBA business? You always hear different answers from different Amazon sellers. Some Amazon sellers take 4 months to have a huge success. Some sellers take 6 months. Other sellers can take longer than a year. It is different for everyone because we are all on a different timeline. So as long as you are being consistent with the number of hours you can commit per day, then I can almost guarantee you that you will start seeing some results. But you have to make sure that you are doing everything correctly when it comes to finding a good product to sell. Do you know how to look for products? Do you know how to look for profit margins? Do you have a coach verifying your products? Are you following any type of training? Where are you getting your knowledge from? So just be sure to ask yourself all of these questions before paying your supplier or making a commitment. I just want everyone to do well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.